But I don't want this game on the card. Don't want...
I do.
Hello, world, and welcome back to Gridiron Gamble, the only podcast that puts its money where its mouth is. I'm your host, Rich Ron, and I'm joined by two members of the collective, the Disciple, Brett Colson, and the resident moose himself, Mo Nuara. Donnie is off to a wedding in Mexico, and in his stead, Mo is now in Sin City, where Brett was last week. It's all confusing, but we'll clarify it for you in just a moment. Before we do, be sure to ring that bell if you're watching us on YouTube and subscribe to the Lines US YouTube page. Listeners, subscribe to your favorite podcatcher of choice. Give us a rating, a review, 5 stars only. And of course, salute to the patrons who in a moment will be recording live. Because once again, I forgot to hit the button. I got a lot of things going on. I got a co-host on a bachelor party that he just never tells anybody about. He just tells me 6 hours beforehand that he's in another state, can barely make the show. Brett just returned from Vegas. Everyone's having the time. Donnie's going to be drinking tequila in Mexico, and I'm just here like adults producing you idiots making football picks.
Mo's such a professional. He actually showed up in Vegas. I was out in Vegas last week, and I was just like, nah, I'm not showing up.
Well, you're the boss. You're the money man. You're the bag man. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, why am I even here right now? I'm going to bed.
Mo, you said long-time friend. First time, long time. Well, hopefully first time. What are the festivities like? What kind of debauchery do you guys have lined up? You're going to the Hoover Dam. That doesn't really scream debauchery bachelor party in Vegas.
He likes to go, I guess. I guess he's like been there 3 times already or something. I've never been there, so I'm down to go. He doesn't drink, actually, so he's actually going to be our DD probably. So that should be fun for him.
Is the Hoover Dam the thing you do more than once? I thought that was like a one-time.
I know. I thought that was weird too. I thought that was weird too.
This seems like I have a good friend who works. Not at Homeland Security. Where does he work? He works for the Department of Defense. And I think some alarm bells might be ringing when people are making return trips to like the Hoover Dam as some kind of mischievous activity.
Listen, he used to watch Modern Marvels on TV all the time, okay? So he's into that sort of thing. I think there's going to be...
Nat Geo. He's just grinding Nat Geo.
Yeah, there's going to be... strippers and debauchery soon for sure, but that's tomorrow night. That's why I was trying to, get this done today. But I was willing to do it tomorrow, which Brett, confused the hell out of you, apparently.
It was, yes. For a writer, your sentence structure can sometimes leave a lot to be desired.
Well, he speaks 2 different languages.
There's
Mo, and then there's professional Mo.
Dude, he's an incredible writer. And then he gets into WhatsApp, and it's like Sanskrit. No response. Brett, you were out for work, kind of, but found some time for enjoyment. How was it in the
Definitely
desert?
Not work.
Oh, I thought G2. I thought you were there for G2E.
I was not there for G2E.
Oh, there
he
you
was
go.
riding the lazy river at Circa. I'm going to Circa tomorrow, I think. I haven't been there yet, so
how
tell
was
me what
you
got to...
How was
it was quiet. I thought there'd be a lot of people there for Thursday Night Football, and it was kind of dead. Maybe because it was the Saints and Andy Dalton. I don't know. But still, I mean, it's one of those things where you have to see it. It's just so unique than anything else that's out there. And we had a good time. We got a cabana at Circa, so yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I absolutely can't wait to make my maiden voyage one day to Circa and check it out, both the inside and the stadium swim outside. We were fortunate to land a 2-3 reverse body blow thanks to Monday Night Football. We almost got zappied, guys. Zappy was almost this. That was the most bizarre football game I've ever laid eyes on. When a guy coming back from an injury who is clearly more talented than this pop gun armed guy who went to Western Kentucky gets 3 series, clearly makes a poor decision on the interception, but there's some alum. Let's bust it out right now. Did you guys see this footage of the ball hitting the Skycam cable? Like, there's some angles where...
Didn't see that.
Dude, the ball just starts fluttering mid-throw. And for all the faults that Mac Jones might have, dude's got a pretty decent arm. For that ball to just turn into a duck randomly was super weird. He gets the hook, and Zappe, I mean, he's throwing touchdowns to guys who are being defended by guys falling over. Like, they could have been playing the clown music in the background as guys are spilling over themselves trying to tackle these Patriots receivers. And then Zappe comes back down to earth, and the second half is a complete disaster, and the Bears win by infinity. What a goofy football game. But 2-3, we need some winners, guys. We got to get some 4-1s and 5-0s in here to give us a sweat here going into the second half of the season, which is creeping up around the corner. And we start, as always, with split contests. And there is one that is going to be hella contentious to lead things off because both Mo and Brett have a very strong opinion in Browns Bengals. The big news today, obviously, affecting Cincinnati as Jamar Chase is dealing with a hip injury that might sideline him 4 to 6 weeks, which really came out of nowhere. Played 93% of the snaps in the previous game. He did hobble off at halftime, one of our Discord members, the Jeff, mentioned, but again, played in the entire second half. The only thing he missed was that, I believe, that last series where they were killing the clock. And you guys, both of you, love the Browns in this spot. DP and I don't really have an opinion. We clicked the Bengals and put them...
I was worried for a second, Brett.
No, put them very low. Prior to the Chase news, I was very interested in the Bengals because I've been very impressed with this team. And I was listening to the Lions Power Rankings argument podcast, which is great. It's an absolute must listen to start the week. Just guys arguing about the most minute differences in power rankings. It's football AF, and I love every second of it. And I believe it was either Andrus or Matt Brown who said that the Bengals might be the 4th best team in football. I think it's pretty damn clear they're the 3rd best team in the AFC. Just because Zach Taylor learned how to not be a wuss. This 99% shotgun stuff is exactly what the Bengals need. And they're a completely different team when they're super aggressive and throwing the ball. That said, they're not going to have Chase. So that makes a big difference. Mo, I'll let you lead things off because you absolutely love the Browns here. Did the Chase injury influence you, or were you already massively favoring Cleveland here?
I already bet the Browns plus 3.5 a couple days ago. I'm very disappointed in this because now other people are going to be on the Browns. Unfortunately, I think they might be popular. But yeah, divisional home underdog, that is just not this much worse than the Bengals, I don't think. I mean, we know what gives the Bengals problems. It's a good pass rush. Have the Browns been a good pass rush? No. Do they have a good pass rush on paper? Absolutely. So hopefully, especially Bengals, I think, have some injuries on the offensive line as well. Both teams, I'm wondering what this injury report is going to look like a day from now. It could be pretty swingy either way, actually, because Bengals have Lyle Collins, Trey Hendrickson. These are critical players. And then Browns, multiple DBs. Obviously, in this matchup, that's more crucial than most. Wyatt Teller, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I want to know if these players are in, I guess, but assuming it's all a wash, like both ways, I guess, like, I think this line is too high. I mean, it's a divisional home underdog that's got a pulse. The Browns,
do they have a pulse though? When is the last time the Browns played a good football game?
They're not good, but they're fine. They're fine enough to cover 3.5 at home against Bengals, who come on, man, they're just all beating the time up on bums.
And the Browns defense, bunch of bums. 31st in EPA, 28th in DVOA, 25th in pressure rate.
But if the Bengals run straight, this is a great thing. This is like the other
they're
game.
They're not going to run straight, though. They've literally shown 2 weeks straight that they're done running straight. They're just going to chuck the ball. Brett, pile on the Browns here.
Yeah, I like the Browns even before the Jamar Chase news that dropped after Circa released his lines, which is super interesting. Now the line's 3. I can't see it getting back to 3.5. So I think Mo's right. I think we're gonna be on the same side as a lot of people in this contest, just because that we get that line value. But I don't know. The Bengals don't have a single impressive win yet this season. Like, they've been shredding bad teams through the air. And I know, Rich, you're gonna say, well, that's what they're supposed to do. But I need to see them beat somebody with a pulse. And I know the Browns don't quite fit that bill.
They definitely don't have a pulse. The Browns.
I think they're an average team.
They have half of a pulse.
Yeah, they're an average team. They have great football players.
They're an average team that's good at plunging. That's the only thing they're good at is plunging.
They're really good at plunging.
They're pretty good at plunging.
They're going to plunge their way to a 3-point loss in this game. That's. I mean, and look, the Jamar Chase thing is huge because now they still have a very good receiving unit. They just no longer have the elite receiving unit. Burrow loses his best deep threat, and that's really what has been driving this success through the air is,
Dude,
Jamar
they've
Chase.
been hitting a lot of deep balls the last couple of weeks.
Let's hop across the pond for our next split game. I'm only going to play like half of a verse here. That's enough. Enough, you Brits. Can't wait to kick your on Black Friday. Go USA. Go USA, go. It's Broncos, Jaguars, not Wires, people. And Mo and I really like the Broncos in this spot. Mo, how can the Jaguars be laying this many points on a neutral field? Part of me is afraid of my anti-Jags bias that has been building over these last couple of weeks, where they've been net yards per play kings, but absolutely blowing it on neutral. Not on neutral, excuse me, in high leverage situations. So I'm kind of afraid that this is subconsciously coloring my evaluation of this contest. But I think this Broncos defense is going to be great no matter who's playing quarterback. And can this Broncos offense cobble together a couple of drives on a weird neutral field in London to make this competitive? I think so, regardless of who's under center, whether it be something Rippin, who at least had the stones to go 10 ADOT and throw at Sauce a couple times last week, or if it's Russell Wilson.
How did that work out for him?
I mean, at least he tried. I give him all the credit in the world. The Jets came out in a very aggressive single high look on 4th and short at the end of the game, and this dude took a shot at the end zone. He did exactly what he was supposed to. Now, he threw at Sauce, which is probably not advisable. But, he had the stones to, do what was right, and I think that's commendable. And yeah, regardless of quarterback, I think the Broncos have a chance here to win this game outright. This is a crazy line, Mo. This is Jags minus 5.5, minus 6 at home. This is crazy.
Yeah, I've had the Broncos ahead of the Jags, I think, every time I've done my power rankings until this week, but I thought Brett Rippon was going to start again. So when I made that, so yeah, aren't the Broncos a better team than the Jags? This might be the best defense in the NFL, right? It's top 3 for sure.
It might be. Yeah.
No?
Not as good as the Jets.
It's top.
As we showed last week. Like I said, we were going to out-running game them. That's exactly what happened.
The Broncos have the best unit on the field for me here. And I mean, I don't... Everything the Jaguars have done on offense has basically been successful through the air. I don't think they can run the ball at all, really. So good luck with that against the Broncos, I guess. I don't think the Jags defense is really all that good. So if Russ is okay, maybe they can do something here. But that's the thing. I'm just not sure, I guess, how effective he's going to be. Yeah, I don't think the Jags should be I think this should just be a pick 'em. So I don't understand giving the Broncos any points here, but they're low value points, and it's an injured quarterback still. So I couldn't be super, super confident. I had it at number 3, but there's a massive gap between my top 2. And then I have a 5-team second tier that's all the same.
Brett, Donnie is not here to back you up in the split game segment. You've got this below the fold, but you must defend your selection.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with this game
of the Jags.
I want to back both of these teams this week. This is the spot where I just want to back both of these teams.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you have to pick one, and as hard a time as I have laying the Jags minus 2.5 right now in neutral, You said it on the podcast. Like, they continue to outplay teams. I think this team is just better than their record is showing. They only lose in the final score. And if it were Urban Meyer, like, I would understand. But with this coaching staff, I just don't think this is sustainable. I think this team's going to start winning football games again. I really like this Broncos defense, but I don't know. The offense has just been so dysfunctional. I'm not sure Russell Wilson rushing back with that hamstring injury is the answer, given the inefficiency we've seen with this offense, even with Russ under center. And is there something going on in that locker room? Like, it doesn't seem to me like the Broncos are taking football all this seriously right now.
Can you imagine being on that plane from Denver to London, trying to sneak in a nap, and this idiot is doing high knees in the aisle?
How can you get up for a football game when Russell the Clown is I don't know. There's just something weird going on in Denver. And so I'm buying the Jags after some of these fraud losses. I don't love it, but I just think the Jags are kind of short of 3. It's probably the right side here.
I kind of do believe in the report that was going around ESPN as well, that if the Broncos lose this game, I think they could fire Hackett. I don't think that's as crazy as it sounds, because they have a new ownership group that came in after the hire, and they could just be like, what the hell's going on here, guys? We bought this for $4 billion and we have this moron in charge. Like, let's fix this right now. So yeah, weird game. I don't think we'll be bringing it up later, thankfully. We will be bringing up the Giants a little bit later in a discussion in the Lone Wolves. That's a little bit of a tease, because can they keep doing this as you just said with the Jags? I mean, I can't wait.
Breaking Bad meme.gif.
Yeah, I literally was going to say the Jesse Pinkman line. So he can't keep getting away with it. He just can't. Last split game. Nobody has that much of an opinion on Bears at Cowboys. The Cowboys are minus 9.5 in the contest. That's the last line that I saw in real life as well. This opened 10. So a bit of money came in on Chicago to knock this down. Mo, looks like you are the highest on Justin Fields and the Bears here.
He loves Justin Fields.
As the listening audience, Mo's eyes just popped out like an Acme cartoon that just saw.
They're like bottom 5 for me, aren't they?
10 ounces of dynamite
I guess
in
not.
front of them. Start us off, Mo, on the conversation about the Bears coming off of a prime time win, Monday Night Football.
I do love Justin Fields. I can't quit this guy. Every time I'm ready to quit, he has a game like that where his athleticism is just popping off the screen. I mean, dude, he accelerates away from defenders. Like, he looks like a receiver when he's running. I mean, it's crazy. But
it's almost like he was 5-star, went to a Power 5 school, led his team to the college football playoffs, was amazing. You know,
this
almost like a dream if you have a top 2 pick.
Yeah. I certainly would rather have him than Zach Wilson on my team. I'll say that. But I wonder if he can run away from Micah Parsons here. I don't know if anyone can run away from Micah Parsons, so that's what worries me here. That being said, this is kind of going back to what we said that one week when it was Patriots-Packers. I don't know if this plotting Dallas team can run away from anybody. They just want to pound the rock constantly. They can't throw the ball very well at all. They were I don't want to get too deep into it because it's going to hurt feelings, including my own, but that Lions blowout was so fake. I mean, they blew out the Lions defensively, but like not on offense whatsoever. So, yeah, I just don't trust this offense to just run away from people by double digits, basically.
So this is a spot, right? This is low total, high spread. This is a bettor's dream, right? Just like last week, the Patriots game, which I, as an idiot, took the absolute wrong side in laying the wood, thinking that Belichick would coach circles around Justin Fields, which didn't happen. And honestly, funny enough, hasn't historically happened.
Is a good coach. Isn't he doing a good job so far? This team sucks.
Oh, it's so funny. You said Eberflus. I was like, why are you bringing up the defensive coordinator of the Colts? And I was like, oh yeah, he is head coach of the Bears now because he's just been so I couldn't even tell you what Eberflus looks like. And I watched the entire broadcast on Monday Night Football. I couldn't tell you. Is he a good coach? Well, it's not like he's working with a lot on offense, right? It's not like Denver where you've got great pieces and you're failing to strategize and coordinate a feasible professional outfit. So yeah, there's a chance that he's decent enough. And this Cowboys team, Dak comes back and he does exactly what he loves to do. Just throw 3-yard button hooks to Dalton Schultz. Now, well, I am surprised, Mo, that you weren't more excited about the Tony Pollard news that Zeke is going to miss this game. I figured you're one of those people that think Tony Pollard is elite. Like they've never seen Lamar Miller before be elite on very few touches. Brett, that's Brett. Oh yeah,
he is elite.
Brett's the Pollard guy. He's not elite. He's elite on 10 touches, and then when he gets a real load, he's gonna come back to earth because he's gonna actually be getting hit and tagged by grown men.
We'll see.
Mike Evans is so good. How did he get that open there? And then Brady underthrew him by 8 yards.
Brady Goat. Brett, finish us off in the split game segment. Why did you lay 9.5 points with the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, it's funny. Handicapping the NFL it's like putting a puzzle together. Using what happened last week and the public perception based on a 1-game sample. Like the Bears dominated the Pats last week, but I didn't see that as all that surprising. New England stinks. So now everyone's backing the Bears that I'm seeing at this big number against an elite Dallas defense. This is the worst pass blocking unit in the NFL in Chicago with a quarterback who, as athletic as he is, if you keep him contained in the pocket, he just looks lost when the pocket collapses. So I think this is a terrible matchup for the Bears. I think Dallas is going to roll here, but we know how the collective performs, laying big numbers, so I moved this down my card a bit. I did want to put this in my top 5.
Thank you.
I think Dallas is just going to wreck them.
Appreciate you thinking about us. So the split games, really the only one with a strong opinion was Browns Bengals. I have a feeling we might hear about that a little bit later. The other two were Bears Cowboys, where nobody had a very strong opinion. And then Broncos Jags, where Mo and I actually really like the Broncos this week. If I were in a place where betting was legal, I think I would have real American dollars on.
I know not only the Broncos, might be able to help you out with that, but the Broncos money bet line.
Remember where you work, sir, at thelines.com. We're regulated betting.
He's in Vegas.
Is proxy betting legal? All right, split games out of the way. Time to get to some low wolves. Everybody wrote him off. And he didn't write back. Last week, I finally went back to my guy, Geno Smith. Gave me the cover. Gave me the win. Shouts out to everybody that had Seahawks money bet line. Swaggered into SoFi Stadium, beat the out of Justin Herbert, showed him how to play like an elite quarterback in the National Football League, and now he's laying 3 at home against the New York Giants. This is not sustainable, what the Giants are doing, guys. An 80-yard game-winning drive with 0 completions. It's going to come undone at some point. Now, I will say that I'm pretty bullish on the Giants as a team as they get healthier. I truly think, I said this in Discord, I think Wan'Dale Robinson from a fantasy perspective is going to be this year's Amon-Ra St. Brown. This dude is talented. He's getting a ton of targets. And I think in the second half of the season, he's going to put up some monster numbers just because...
You guys laughed at me a few weeks ago when I said something Wan'Dale was coming back.
Well, you're the sharpest. Brett's ahead.
And now he's Amon-Ra.
I'm the one who watched that guy in college. Okay, you guys know he went to Nebraska, right?
Heart of a Husker.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
How many other teams did he
transferred to Kentucky?
Unprofessional
his final year.
Go Wildcats.
Wan'Dale. So I watched a lot of Wan'Dale. Dude, he has insane power for his size.
He's getting 30. I think the stat was like 33% of his routes run he gets targeted on. He's just going to get a ton of action here.
Look who else is out there running routes?
Well, that's
David
the point,
Sills
right?
and Marcus
Bellinger.
Johnson. Like, what?
Something Marcus Johnson popped up on my when I sorted by the projections this week. I was like, who is that?
M. Johnson.
He played the most snaps at wide receiver for them last week. That's how dire that situation is.
And my point is, one of these teams has an elite passing attack, and the other one is the New York Giants. When are we going to start respecting the Seahawks team, guys? Like, they've kind of earned it. I don't think they're great, but they're a pretty good team. And they're going to have their troubles when a good offense comes in and can move the ball and can be aggressive. And the Giants just aren't that. So give me the way better passing attack. Give me my guy, Geno Smith. I think this line is saying that the Seahawks are a half point better than the Giants.
It sounds about right to me. I mean, what?
I think they're a hair better than that.
I don't know. I think the Giants are still better.
Wow.
You know what's scary about the Seahawks is they might be a better running team than a passing team. Dude, they're just marching regardless.
Dude, you know what I was thinking of? How lucky are the Seahawks when it comes to running back management? Like last year, they're trying to plunge with Chris Carson, or was it last? I think it was last year, and Carson gets hurt, and they have to play Penny, who's a way more explosive back. And then this year, they draft Kenneth Walker.
And he was ripping off 50-yard TDs weekly.
Dude, yeah. And then this year, they draft Kenneth Walker, who's way better than Penny, and they refuse to give Kenneth Walker the ball, even though he was coming off of an injury. I'll give him that. And then as soon as Penny goes down, Kenneth Walker comes in and is just ripping off 60-yard touchdown. Nobody runs better when it comes to injuries in the backfield than the Seattle Seahawks. Brett, you really think the Giants are better?
I don't think either one of these teams are good.
It's close.
The Seahawks
it's close either way.
The Seahawks are good at offense.
How are the
Seahawks
Giants
are good at
getting 3?
offense.
So you want to talk about respect, buddy? The Giants are the ones getting 3 again. Every week, dude. I mean, I was the only one who picked the Giants last week.
Hates the Giants.
They hate the Giants, but for reasons. Like, they can't keep Jesse Pinkman. They can't keep doing this. They can't keep getting away with this. It's not possible, guys. 80-yard game-winning drive, 0 completions in 2022. This isn't 1940s Navy versus Notre Dame. Like, you have to put the ball in the air.
I can't explain it. I mean, we've been saying it all year. Like, I don't know what the hell. I don't know. It's the magic of Daboll, and I've been saying this for 4 years now. Like, the guy just he gets it. He knows how to put his players in the optimal position every single play, and they get it done with nobody on offense except for Saquon and Daniel Jones. I've already hit my rushing over on Daniel Jones this year. Through 7 weeks, he's already gotten there. Like I knew this. Like this is just Daboll. Yeah.
He has more rushing yards per game than Jalen Hurts. GOAT, dimes, doing it on the ground. My other lone wolf, this is a weird one. I hate to, once again, have an X next to a team quarterbacked by PJ Walker, but here we are. All of the value has been sucked out of this number, open 6.5, and then piles of money come in on Carolina. Bringing it down to 4. Mo, you put your heads in your hand there, but this is a Falcons team that is literally just going to plunge. Okay? They're going to go out for 60 minutes and plunge. They were in negative script against the Bengals, down infinite points, and just plunged. Like, they're not going to throw the ball. So how do they get out to leads and extend leads and cover 4 in pro football when they're going to plunge against the defense, by the way, that is really good up front?
I can't argue with anything you said, but the Carolina Panthers have PJ Walker at quarterback, and there's absolutely no way I'm backing Carolina unless I'm getting probably double digits. I'll think about 7.5. Okay, absolutely no way I'm clicking on Carolina unless I'm getting 1,000,000 points. This team is horrifying, dude. I know PJ had a good game.
It's the worst team in the league.
Are they the worst team in the league?
I have them 32 of 32, I think. Yeah. I mean, this team is, dude.
They're worse than the Steelers?
He had a good game, whatever. The previous week, he couldn't complete a pass beyond. He literally did not complete a pass beyond the line of scrimmage. That happened in pro football, in a professional football game.
Steve Palazzolo told me that he had 5 big-time throws last week, though. 5 big-time throws last week, according to Steve Palazzolo.
Something big-time throws. I did hear that on the podcast. Something big-time throws. I don't know what that means, but congratulations to PJ.
BTTs. He had the high. He has the
I would
best,
bet against it happening again.
He has the best deep throw completion percentage in the NFL right now. I think that's the thing. BTTs, PJ Walker. This is my third pick. I have zero confidence in this game. Brett, put a pin on an amazing Panthers-Falcons game, which you actually have a very strong opinion on the other side.
Can we talk about the Panthers-Bucks game a little bit from last week? Now that I actually have a platform to talk about. I brought this up in the
guy runs a whole company and he says he doesn't have a platform to talk about the game.
I don't have time. This is the only time I have to get on a friggin' microphone.
He doesn't have time. He spent the entire week on a lazy river.
On a lazy river.
Listen to this.
Your guy needs a break once in a while. So let me ask you guys this. I want to get your thoughts. Bucks Panthers last week, because I think last week was just a fake result. First quarter, Bucks first drive, Brady hits Evans for a wide open, the easiest touchdown of Mike Evans' career. The guy bobbles it and drops it.
He remembers that he and the ref have a golf date later on, and that Alum is all in on Panthers, so he kicks the ball from his own hands. That is sliding doors moment AF.
Like, that's exactly what happens. Exactly what I've been saying.
What happens if Evans scores that touchdown?
Yeah, and you're an EPA guy. Like, you look at expected points added and lost for every play. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that took the air out of the Bucks. Like that was just it. They just roll in positive script if he catches that football. So I threw that game away last week. I loved the Bucks in this Thursday night football game. I know you guys wouldn't come with me. I didn't want to back a Thursday night football game anyway, but looks like the Bucks are. Oh, actually, they haven't scored since we hopped on the podcast. But
they're thinking about blowing it.
All right, it's good to know.
Defense is back. Defense is back at least. Doesn't look like Lamar's hit any BTTs today.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my take on that game from last week. And you said the Falcons opened 6.5. Was that the look ahead, or was that what it reopened on Sunday?
No, when I did my my Monday coffee and lines, it did open at the look ahead at 6.5.
That's interesting. That's surprising to me. I can't see why anybody would be backing the Panthers in the spot. I think you make some good points about the Falcons and the way they play offense, but I don't know. I feel like they have to open it back up here with these weapons again. They were throwing the football early in the year.
Don't you have to open it up when you're down multiple?
They were getting these guys involved early in the season. I don't know what. I mean, we know who's calling the plays there. So are we all that surprised? Not really, but I don't know. I think this is a good spot for Atlanta. I think they're a far better team.
Speaking of Arthur Smith, his former team, the Tennessee Titans, traveled to Houston to take on the Texans. Definitely make that sound. The line is 2.5 in Circa, and Brett is a lone wolf on the Tennessee. No, excuse me, Mo is a lone wolf hosting on the Tennessee Titans. 2020, there's another pick coming up later that I'm going to chastise Mo about. But 2022, Mo is laying points on the road with Malik Willis. I thought you were the unprofesh guy on this podcast.
But who says it's Malik Willis? First of all, Ryan Tannehill's practicing. I think he's going to play, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, dude. This is the all-time run straight game. They are just going to hand off 45 times. Derrick Henry's going to run for 250 yards, and that's what's going to happen in this game. We've seen this movie a million times with the Jags when they were bottom 5. Now it's Texans that are bottom 5. They're just going to hand off. He's going to run for a million yards.
It's just funny to me that division road favorite before, you've got alarm bells ringing. Doesn't matter that Jacoby Brissett has been complete. I'm going to bleep this. Dog shit quarterback. It doesn't matter that the Browns can't stop a nosebleed. You're just going to click the home dog because it's a divisional game. And then in this spot, you sprint to the other side to lay points with an awful Tennessee team, 25th in net EPA. 23rd in offense EPA, 30th in pace, a slow, horrific offensive team. You run to lay points with that team. Make it make sense.
Did you see what Josh Jacobs did to these guys last week? He ran for 160. Well,
Josh Jacobs is elite.
Solid. Derrick Henry's
he got hold of some kind of
Jacobs. He got hold
of some kind of PEDs this year because Josh Jacobs is just ripping off 100 yards.
Well, keep it coming because I got some ownership. All right, but Derrick Henry's better than him still. I mean, dude, you won't catch me telling you Tennessee's a good team, but Texans are atrocious. They're atrocious. This line should be above 3.
All they've done is
the viewers will see that
all year.
Brett, let me tee this up. The viewers will see how aghast Brett was when I said that he selected the Titans because he has the Texans, who definitely make that sound, in his top 5, Mo.
Yeah, that would have blown me away if I was a lone wolf on that. Look, it has to be time to sell the Titans. I cannot back this team. Like you said, this is not a good football team. Laying north of 3 on the road against anyone. Anyone. They can't be laying north of 3 against anyone. Not with this offensive line the way it looks right now. Not with Ryan Tannehill hobbling. And definitely not with the backbone of this defense. Jeffrey Simmons probably not playing this week either. Like, don't get me wrong, the Texans are bad, but this is just one of those spots where I don't think a team can be at a number and you have to click the other side, especially when it's a division game. Like, the Texans have been competitive all season. What if they just go out and get a win here? Money bet line.
They lost by 20 last week. Like I said they would. They lost by 20.
Davis Mills, though.
David Mills.
Unbelievable. We're losing to these people.
Sorry.
Something. David. My biggest take about this game, I can't imagine having a take on this game. This was my last pick by an absolute mile. I want nothing to do with this garbage team, this garbage division. Please, let's move on to Miami and the Dolphins, the greatest football team. The greatest football team, who are once again one of Mo's lone wolves. Once again, meaning the segment, not once again that he's been on them as lone wolves. Brett, I was more surprised to see you on the Lions than anything, but Mo, since this is your lone wolf, lead us off to Tagovailoa and them boys.
Someone explain to me how the Lions are going to get a single stop in this game. I would love to hear it, honestly. They are already atrocious,
I don't know if I can.
And now they have backup DBs everywhere. Like, against these receivers with this coach? Dude, the Dolphins should win by 20. I know they won't because of Loom, but they should. Every idiot is on the Dolphins, and I'm with them. I'm sorry.
I can't wait until 1 p.m. on Sunday as I get relaxed. It's the day before Halloween, so we're going up to my parents, bringing up Theo. He'll be in his little Charlie Brown outfit. We'll be sitting around. The games will be on in the background, and Red Zone will go to Detroit and Miami, and there'll be a flag, and they'll cut to the referee, and Jerome Boger will just be saying, "Holding."
Holding.
And ushering.
I know this is the fish side of the week, okay? I have to see Illume do it.
Literally, it's the fish
side. They're going to need it. Yeah, they're going to need it because the Lions are god-awful. I mean, look at this coaching matchup. You have a coach who is just atrocious, and then you have a coach who walked in and turned Miami into a top 10 team. I mean, I know their defense stinks. But
a coach that has Tua top 3 in every meaningful quarterback metric.
So you're just betting on Loom here.
He looked awful on Sunday night.
Yeah. Man. Brett, I got to go to you. You picked your Lions. Your Lions.
My Lions. I guess they are my Lions now.
Silver and through, blue and blue. So I said silver and through. I'm not even the one drinking. Silver and blue, through and through. And you nearly put them in your top 5. Basically bubbled. You wanted to. This is a double side for sure.
We talked about it all year. The Lions are probably the worst defensive team in the NFL. But the one thing they do semi-well, led by Aiden Hutchinson, is they get to the quarterback they're what was it, 16th in pressure? Like they're not terrible at getting after the quarterback. And the Dolphins, what we know about the Dolphins is they're terrible at protecting Tua. So this really comes down to whether Tua is able to get the ball out and make throws to beat those awful cornerbacks. It might not matter because these playmakers are so good that just, some screens and let them go. But if not, I don't see why the Lions can't just win this game, especially if they get both DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra back. I didn't think we were going to see Amon-Ra come back, but he might play this week.
I didn't think so either. So that was my whole thing too. When I was looking at this early in the week and it was -3, I was like, dude, the Lions haven't scored a touchdown in a month, you guys. That's
because they haven't had their offense. Last week was fake, right? Last week we were like, okay, Swift is back, Amon-Ra's back, and then Swift didn't play, and they took Amon-Ra out for a fake head injury. He didn't even have a concussion. Okay,
well that was my whole thing. Is when I see the word concussion, I'm just assuming everyone's going to miss the next week.
Fake concussion. Fake concussion. He passed protocol. It's the new rules where if you show any slight symptom, which, is probably good in the long run for the fact that these guys won't have to eat Jell-O pudding for the rest of their lives and can put together compact sentences and bounce their grandkids on their knees, for God's sake. It's probably a good thing. But yeah, didn't have a concussion. They just ripped him out of the game.
So then what are we doing here? Why isn't he guaranteed to play this week? What's going on?
I was under the assumption that he's 100% a go.
Well, that's great for the Lions.
Yeah.
Because, this team was putting up 40 every week with the first 3 weeks of the year.
And can we get back to that? I'm trying to hit this golf
Xavier Howard. Still no
now.
Byron Jones. No, you cannot be sweating.
True.
You cannot be sweating this, right?
How many does he have right now?
He haven't scored a touchdown in a month. He's still got 11.
Oh, no. He had 11 in 3 weeks, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. You're halfway home.
Does Julio have any catches tonight? Julio, that's the most funny prop that I touted because Julio is still drawing so live. It was 550. And he got 80 yards in the first game. And then
this was always going to happen.
Yeah. No, for sure. That was definitely one of the best takes from the preseason.
Says he doesn't even have a target tonight.
Come on, Thomas.
I thought he did have a target in the
Edward Brady. Speaking of Thomas Edward Brady, Mo, what are you doing? What are you doing laying points against my fight? Did you not see that we're coming out in stealth mode this weekend? All black,
wait to hear this.
Black helmets. Did you not hear our whole coaching staff this week talking about last year? Talking about how, despite being up 30, 40 points, Belichick was still throwing downfield. This game has been quadruple circled since it was put on the schedule. And I understand the Breece Hall. I more so understand the AVT injury up front. But from a serious football standpoint, isn't this just going to be a rock fight between two awful offenses and one really good defense and one pretty good defense? So why are we laying points with the other awful offense on the road?
I think you're overstating the awfulness of the Patriots offense. Let's be real here.
It's awful. They're a plunging team.
There is awful, and there is what the Jets have been doing. Okay, that's beyond awful. Okay, they can't pass for 150 yards in a football game. This is
they're not
next
trying
level.
to. Part of it is that they're not trying to.
Okay, but that doesn't work forever. Eventually, you have to pass for 200. Imagine getting to 200 yards.
They're definitely going to have to throw the ball.
In 3 games.
They're definitely going to have to throw the ball. And I'm a little queasy to see what it's going to look like. But I think it's crazy to say straight up that the Patriots are 4 points better on neutral than the Jets. I think that's insanity.
You're not wrong, because I think the Jets are actually better.
Yeah, I think the Jets are probably, if you squint, the slightest bit better than the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. It's close.
Nothing, Mo?
You have to complete passes to be good at football.
Not in 2022. 2022 is kind of weird. If you have to complete passes to be good at football, how can you take the Giants over the Seahawks?
Well, they can complete passes.
Your arguments are all over the place. No, they cannot. They literally cannot. They cannot complete passes. No.
They pass for more than the Jets.
No.
Come on. And their quarterback runs for 100 a week. That's worth something.
That's not passing.
Well, when your quarterback runs for 100 a week, it helps. The Jets don't have that. They have nothing. They have nothing but handing to Brees, and he's gone.
No, nobody's queasier about this game and the Jets than me, right? But I had to separate my heart from my head. My heart, you know, my heart's telling me we're gonna lose this game by infinity. Okay, the Patriots are gonna come in and beat us by 40. That's what my heart's telling me. Okay, but you know what my brain says? This is a rock fight between two awful offenses, one really good defense, and one good defense. So give me the home team. Again, by the way, another divisional home dog, right?
They're
that doesn't match
levels of awful.
Doesn't match the Browns Bengals narrative.
2.5, not 3.5. This is very different things.
Two is the new key number.
That's right. Hashtag math. Brett, anything to add on
this? This is my one pointer, by the way, I think.
I mean, I first looked at this game and I wanted nothing to do with it because A, who looked the worst last week? That was the Patriots, which mean we have to back the Patriots. But I mean, the Jets are up there. The Patriots.
The Jets are up there, and who looked the worst? They won a football game.
But that's part B. Like the Jets have been the most fortunate team to this point. So what do you do? But then you look at this number, and it's like, how are the Jets getting points at home against this trash bag of a football team? I don't even know. What is the market even telling us here?
The Patriots aren't even that bad, dude. They beat the Browns by 40.
They just lost to the Bears by 30.
The Packers on the road. I mean, this team is not that bad.
But why is this... The look ahead on this game was Pats -1. Why did this move towards the Patriots after? I
think it had to be the injuries, right? Had to be the injuries.
Brees Hall?
Running backs mattering.
Brees has been awesome, and running backs do matter when the only thing you can do is hand off and rip off 60-yard touchdowns, and you can't score any other way.
Michael Carter's good at football. He's not Brees. He doesn't have the huge difference is that Brees can take a 10-yard run and turn it into a 70-yard touchdown. That's the biggest defense. That's the biggest difference. That dude has different juice.
But that happens. That's happened once.
Yeah. I mean, well, the Packers as well. He took a little inside zone, like 40 yards for a touchdown. Yeah, Zach's going to have to make some throws. And all the Jets idiots that I follow say, don't worry about it. We've been running on purpose. Zach's going to be fine. And I don't think so. I don't think Zach's going to be fine.
Well, he gets Elijah back, though.
Yeah, Elijah, stop throwing his temper tantrum. I mean, might play football this week. Scumbag. Brett's got one lone wolf. It's very low. And he always picks this team. He has a very strong bias for them. He can never see the forest through the trees.
What do you mean they always pick them?
Always picking the Bills. Always picking his team. Always backing them. Always artificially elevating them. Did you know what?
No, here's what happens.
You know what Brett did, Mo? He saw the renderings of the new stadium and had to call his doctor because he was a little excited for 4 straight hours. And now he has the Bills on his card.
The new Tottenham Stadium in Orchard Park.
Yeah. Let's go.
This is what I do with the Bills is if I'm fading the Bills, I have the other team in my top 5. If I'm picking the Bills, they are at the absolute bottom of my card. That's how the formula works. Because I don't know, I don't have a whole lot here. I have serious concerns about Rodgers. I talked about it last week. Like that's why I was on the Commanders. Rodgers and his thumb behind this offensive line against a team that can generate pressure. No Allen Lazard. How are the Packers going to score points this week? I don't see it happening. So why can't this just be a boat? I just think they're just going to get shredded.
If you don't pick against them, you have the other team in your top 5. Well, Mo fits the build then. The bill, excuse me. God, words.
Bills.
Bills. It's the Bills. And has the Packers in his top 5 in that elite top 2 tier that he was talking about. 2 games
this is one of the best spots of the year. Top 5 wager of the year.
Gotta throw the ball in the NFL. Gotta throw the ball. Gotta throw the ball. Gotta throw the ball. Let's take this horrific passing offense with no lizard.
They have Aaron Rodgers. You stop what you're doing right now.
He's not even Aaron Rodgers anymore.
You know what's funny? Speaking of he's not Aaron Rodgers, I was looking at EPA per play on 3rd and 4th down this year. Guess who's the only human above Zach Wilson? Or excuse me, Zach Wilson is one tick above. I screwed this up. Rodgers is 33rd in EPA per play on 3rd and 4th. He's been awful. And his receivers have been a part of that, and now he doesn't even have lizard.
Where are you
Sammy
going
Watkins back, though?
How do you have so much belief?
This line was 4 in the preseason. It was 8.5 last week. This is outrageous. The Packers should not be double-digit underdogs. That is just stupid. I agreed with 8.5. 8.5 was fine. Getting past double digits, this is outrageous. This line is 3 points too high.
Where are the Packers? Your first power rankings of the season. Where were the Packers? Give or take.
8th-ish?
Okay, where are they now?
13th or something? 12th?
You're way too high on the Packers then.
I'm efforting here.
Where? Who?
The Packers are
everyone's bad.
Average at
what do you want me
best?
to do? What do you want me to do? Everyone's bad.
Mo had the Packers 8 preseason, which is actually lower than I would have thought.
Look at the memory.
I hated the Packers in the preseason. I hated the Packers.
Yeah, you did. And now you've got them 14. So
what do you want me to do? Who am I supposed to put ahead of them? The Seahawks?
Why not?
The Giants?
Who's favored on neutral? Hawks, Packers.
The Packers. And it's not close, okay? This team can still
throw the ball. Team can't throw the ball. Quarterback has a busted thumb. Something lizard
from throwing the ball. Okay? They might
you're not going to stop the Bills though.
Yeah,
against
good luck.
The run?
Good luck stopping Josh Allen.
I'll take
best of luck.
I'm accepting all pizza bets. Don't you have the Packers, Rich?
I do, but I'm just confused as to how you can be.
I love the Packers this week.
Brett, he was so confident about the Packers that he basically ruined the collective machine. That's how many confidence points he put on it. He ruined
it.
He basically.
I don't even want to know how many points
he essentially rigged the collective so that he would basically get 2 picks. That's essentially what he did. Scumbag.
This is not what I don't want this game on the card. Don't want.
I do.
Well,
Bills off a bye.
DP's got 1 lone wolf, and it's going to allow me to have a very good salvo here. And it's the Indianapolis Colts -3. And the biggest bone that I have to pick is with Mo Nuwara. Mo did pick the Commanders. He does have the right side here, +3 at Indy. But as the person...
How do we know what the right side is here? This game, I want nothing to do with this. Is a fair line.
Because this is the National Football League. And I've been told that something called Sam Ehlinger is playing quarterback for the team in Indianapolis called the Colts. And there's betting markets that accept wagers on the outcomes of these contests, and they're telling me that something called Sam Ehlinger is favored by 3 points in a pro football game. Can't do it. Absolutely. Okay, this is Trey Lance week 1. At least Trey Lance
that line was 7.
But at least it was Trey Lance and a Kyle Shanahan offense, and like the 3rd overall pick or whatever the hell Trey Lance was. What's an Ehlinger?
Yeah,
I couldn't really tell you. I couldn't really tell you, but he's facing Heineken. How is that any better, really? I mean, I don't know.
Heineken wins NFL games and then gets Jordans in the colorway of the team that he beats. He literally gets scalps for the teams that he beats in pro football. Like, this guy does it. Something Ehlinger is, I just can't. It's a non-starter. Something Ehlinger is laying points in the NFL. He's never taken a snap. He played at a joke Texas team in a joke conference in the Big 12, and I'm supposed to just lay points with something Ellinger.
Doesn't he have the most L's of all time at UT? I think I heard.
Does he have the record for L's? Is he the L master? Putting the L in Ellinger? And this is a Washington team that gets at it too. They're going to create pressure. And everyone keeps telling me that something Ellinger is going to create fantasy value by running. But doesn't that also mean that he's going to do things like break pocket early and like be skittish and make mistakes? I don't know. This is crazy. I love the Commanders here. Absolutely love them. And I cannot believe Donnie selected the Colts. I cannot believe Mo, you have them as your last pick. I can't believe it.
I just thought this line was fair. I mean, the Colts have a better team than the Commanders, don't they? How much worse than Ryan can he be? Matt Ryan is awful.
Again,
he is awful.
How many times does Mo pound the table for passing? Gotta throw the ball, and he clicks something Ellinger throwing 2-yard drag routes to Michael Pittman as opposed to something Heineken.
Ryan play? I don't even know if he's above threshold.
Have you seen Heineken unlock Scary Terry and these Washington receivers?
So wait, Mo, who are you? Who was better, Ellinger or Matt Ryan?
Is it Ellinger? Am I screwing?
I don't know. I think it's Ellinger.
Own that soft G, buddy.
Who's better? I don't know. I don't know anything about Ellinger.
Well, 3 weeks ago, you were saying the Colts were the worst team in the NFL with Matt Ryan. So if Ellinger's worse, then what are the Colts right now?
I said they had the worst offense, which they did.
It still stands.
Their D is better than Commanders, though.
Their D is fine.
Now they have some random mid-round pick who took the most L's in UT history playing quarterback. This is a disaster.
I don't understand how anybody can have any confidence either way in this game. I don't.
Because it's
anything could happen in
points in the NFL.
The Colts could win 31 0 and I wouldn't be surprised.
No, there's no scenario where Ellinger is Johnny Unitas. I'm putting my stamp on that right now.
It sounds like he's Johnny Manziel.
Which is perfect.
That's what
God, I couldn't.
Like.
If that's the case, there should be irresponsible wagers made on the Commanders' money bet line. Not financial advice. The Lone Wolves. Mo has the Titans and Patriots. DP has something Ellinger and the Colts. Brett has his Bills, picks them every week, backs them no matter what. And I've got the Panthers and Seahawks. Strap in, especially you, Brett. It's time for the card.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Needed Mo's top 5 last week, 4-1 for the Moose, so he kicks things off this week. His top pick was sniped by the collective, so we go to number 2, which is a split contest. Brett, you'll be happy with this one.
Got the Browns. I thought you were going to play a sounder. Rah, rah, rah.
Yes, Browns definitely... Browns definitely make that sound.
Very happy with the Browns. Very excited, but it's going to be popular, unfortunately. This is a development solely due to this late injury, but very happy to have the Browns.
Brett is puzzled.
Well, no, I now I know what happened.
You understand?
I understand what happened.
What's been done?
Cool.
What's been done? You guys act like I have 2 wagers this week in my accounts. 2. Okay? So I did what I was supposed to do. I made those my wins. Very, very strong selections.
I hope we have 2 wins. Brett, give us a favorite on the card.
I am fading the worst team in the NFL, so I'm taking the Falcons -4. The Plungers. I'm taking the Plungers -4.
All the steam.
We've got all the Plungers on the card this week. It's like we just taken the Plungers.
I'm going up next. Something Ellinger can't be a favorite in the NFL. We've got the commies on the card, guys. Commanders +3 at Indianapolis. Can't wait for the Heineken backbreaker. So let me get it. Everybody knows by now, but let's fire up the machine.
The collective chooses the Green Bay Packers.
Go, Pack, go!
I need to know how many points he put on the Packers. I need to know. Was it more than 50?
No, I almost put 50, but I changed to 40. Listen, if you want a pizza
40
to
unit
enjoy,
play, guys.
I know a way for you to enjoy a pizza while you watch the Packers lose by 40, if you think that's what's going to happen.
My 1-pointer.
40 units. Okay, so those are the 4 picks so far. I held off DP's till last because DP has 3 consensus picks in his top 5. DP was in tune with the collective, and I'm going to go from bottom to top. So the last one will be the one that's on the card. How about that for content, leaving the last pick for last? The first one, the bottom one, makes his card. Rams +1.5 hosting the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams were favorites on the look ahead. The Niners go out and get absolutely plastered by Mo's Kansas City Chiefs, but they add Christian McCaffrey. I guess that's what's swaying this line. I don't know what else would have influenced this through 0, although 0 is not really a key number. So
it was a lot of the 49ers injuries, and then a lot of those players played, and also maybe the line was stupid. Kind of was stupid. The 49ers are way better than the Rams.
Yeah.
That being said, a lot of injuries.
They're way better than the Rams, so we all of us idiots lined up to take
yeah, Rams are healthy, and the Niners. Now we're looking at Debo and Eric Armstead now practicing. Juszczyk, the fullback actually kind of matters in this offense.
Capping for fullbacks.
He's out this week. It's just, I don't know.
Well, we could listen, guys. We could either cap for fullbacks or we could cap for David Mills interceptions. It's up to you guys.
Well, if you know David Mills is going to throw an interception, what are you going to do? Mo, you said one thing about the Rams where they were different from the Bucs. 2 teams that were absolutely fledging, right? Having no success, struggling. But we know the Rams can get stops. The Rams defense, while not as dominant up front, only 31st in pressure rate, they've been stout. They've been elite against the run, and they've been pretty good against the pass. And Jimmy G on the road against a team coming off the bye, playing good defense, I can buy all of that. I am terrified about this Rams offense, though.
I still say, I think the offensive line play the Rams showed against the 49ers last time they played is the worst offensive line play I've ever laid 2 eyes on in the NFL. I've never seen anything worse than that.
Well, it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better because everybody's dead. Doesn't matter how many bye weeks you have. The whole Rams offensive line is gone.
The team isn't as healthy, and maybe McVay can stop being an idiot and figure something out.
Nope. Not going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen.
If it hasn't happened by now, it's not going to happen.
McVay's a bit of a dum-dum. Again, DP was the highest on this game, having this in his top 5. The other 2, we have 4 consensus picks. The other one that didn't make anybody's top 5, Eagles -10.5 against the Steelers. Mo, are you laughing because
I laughed because I was literally staring at this and thinking, I think Eagles should be -13. I really think that. But also, dude, I'm literally what Brett said earlier. It's just rule of collective laying 10 points. So I just moved it down because if we click Eagles,
I got laughed out.
Steelers are going to win by 3. I promise.
Yeah, it's trends.
I got laughed at on Monday when I posted my guesses. Because do you guys know? Brett's laughing. Mo, did you see what my guess was in this? So
16?
when I make 17. I mean, this is my logic. The Bills are minus 14. The Bills beat this team by infinity. Okay? There's clearly 3 good teams in the league. The Chiefs and Bills are on a podium by themselves, and the Eagles are below them. So why isn't this... I think any line short of 2 touchdowns is insane for this game. But, like you said, not laying double-digit points in Circa. It's just simply not allowed. The other 2 consensus picks that are in DP's top 5, this one had a little bit more buzz from the collective. I was deathly afraid of it, though, because I think it's going to be one of the more popular games of the week, and that is Vikings minus 3.5 against the Arizona Cardinals. You've got the Vikings coming off the bye against a Cardinals team that had one of the most fraudulent wins you'll ever see with back-to-back pick sixes. Massive amounts of money come in on the Cardinals at a huge number. What was this, like 6? Which then brings it down to a much reasonable price for us to buy back in on Minnesota. You just have to promise me one thing, that the Vikes are going to extend their lead. Just get out, continue to be aggressive. Don't do the same crap that you did against the Bears, because if you come out and put your foot on the gas, you can beat this Cardinals team by name the score. And then you put Kyler in negative script, running around like a chicken with his head cut off on the road in a tough environment. Mo, you're laughing.
Yeah, all that's true. But it is the Vikings, and the Vikings as favorites are
Kevin O'Connell.
Absolutely terrifying.
Yep.
Man, yeah, I don't know. I want to fade both these teams. This is opposite of what Brett said earlier about Jags and Broncos. I want to fade both these teams.
Yes.
I'm so low on Vikings and Cardinals. They suck.
Why are we fading Vikes off a bye though?
Dude, this team is complete frauds.
No,
they're so fraudulent.
So, God, your takes are
they're
so
not
weird.
good at anything
Vikings,
besides throwing to Justin Jefferson.
Throwing the ball.
That's literally the only thing they're good at.
I'm sorry, they're elite at throwing the ball to one of the best receivers in the league.
Sure. But how's that working out for them? They get outgained by 200 yards by the Dolphins.
They're 5 and 1? It's working out great.
Sure. And every person who wins a poker tournament is great at poker.
Oh, man. You're just salty because you can't run not above EV, at EV, at a final table. And then finally, Donnie's actual pick, the consensus pick that would be making our card, the New Orleans Saints plus 1.5, playing host to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Attaboy, Donnie.
Brett, I'll let you take it away because you're just out here fist pumping for not Jameis week. Unfortunately, it's not Jameis week. It is once again Andy Dalton week in New Orleans.
I love this pick, man. This is such a collective pick because everyone is hurt for the Saints. Like Thomas and Landry still not practicing. Marshawn Lattimore didn't practice on Thursday, but this is still just a sneaky spot to buy the Saints as home dogs. They're off extra rest, more time to prepare. They're coming off that weird, like you said, fraudulent loss on Thursday night to the Cardinals. Dalton threw a pair of pick sixes. Otherwise, Dalton's looked pretty good. I mean, he's like been above average this year. I think he's fine. And this is just the Saints way. It's next man up. They get Taysom involved. They bring Kevin White, the fakest receiver ever. This guy's getting snaps and scores touchdowns. Rashawn Salam is back in the league. Like the Saints are the best, man. I think this is a win for New Orleans. I don't know. I think this is a great spot. So good job, Donnie. I wanted to put this number 1 on my card. I'm actually sad that I didn't because I love this.
Mo, all smiles over there.
I'm actually super nervous about this, but whatever. I mean, I don't like anything besides the top 2, so whatever you guys like is good by me.
You love Carr.
But they have a good passing offense. And why do the Saints suck on defense?
Why does this only apply to teams that you like? The good passing offense.
They have a good passing offense. They do. And the Saints can't stop a nose.
Carr's limping around practice, and Devontae has mud butt.
Yeah.
That's just mud. Yeah, I mean, obviously this line would be insane if he didn't play, but I just assume he's.
And by the way, the
Raiders
still can't score touchdowns, right? They were blowing it in high leverage against the Texans of all teams last week, and they can't stop a damn nosebleed. 31st in pass defense EPA, 27th in defense DVOA. The Saints can move the ball here against a horrific rate. If David Mills can go out and throw for multiple touchdowns, looking real comfortable in the pocket, then I think our guy Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, can fire off some shots.
Nobody gets this David Mills joke. We're just in here giggling to ourselves.
There's somebody listening that grinds Veasan and is laughing at our jokes.
Why does this say Kenyon Drake threw a touchdown to Lamar Jackson?
It was the other way around for sure. So ESPN play-by-play
blew it.
Drunk.
Confirmed drunk. All right. So the card. We're past the hour mark. So I have my laptop and my computer in front of me. So I have two mouses. Those for the viewing audience. And I keep grabbing the wrong mouse. So if you're watching and there's times where I'm just like staring into space and I'm very confused, it's because I've selected the wrong mouse. So as I grab the correct mouse, the one from my laptop, I can now tell you the card is I've got the commies, salute, go communism, screw capitalism. Brett's got the Falcons, cacaw. DP's got the Saints. Mo's got the Packers and the Browns because he rigged it and made the collective take the Packers. And that's the card. Follow these guys on Twitter.
Rigged.
At Mo Nwara, NUWWARAH. He's at Brett Colson, COLLSON. Like I said, ring the bell. Subscribe to the Lines US YouTube page. Give them all the love. They just keep pumping out the content now that NBA's out, NHL's out, World Cup previews. Brett has his hand at the whip at all times, making sure the Lines content factory is churning.
I actually don't think we do anything with NHL.
Nothing?
I know a
Did
guy.
I blow it?
I know a guy.
I think so. If the Sabres keep winning, though, we might have to start doing some NHL content.
That's how much hockey is just not a thing.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
We have a page.
Ice hockey. There's a page.
We have a page.
There is SEO being done on hockey, but nobody's searching for it. So
nobody likes hockey.
So it doesn't look at the Google Trends. Just do NBA and NHL and just look at how few more people are searching for like Russell Westbrook mad at the media than anything NHL related. You could combine all the NHL things. And they're not getting the search traffic that
we
Russell
do
Westbrook
like more niche sports than NHL. People just
something Darvin Ham
need the Yan and Mickey 2-person NHL show. I might watch it.
something.
There's a podcast.
Something Darvin Ham has gotten more Google searches than the entire NHL. That's a thing. All right, I'm at Rich C. Ryan. This has been Gridiron Gamble. There'll be a recap. It might be me again. I don't know. All these slackers leave me to do it myself. We'll see. Until then, peace!